Picture this, two builders, same floor plan, same 40 by 30 steel kit, same manufacturer, same square footage. One builds in rural Texas and walks away with a finished home for $135,000. The other builds in Washington State and gets handed a final bill of $310,000. Same house, nearly double the price. That's not a contractor ripping someone off. That's not a bad loan. That is the zip code tax. And if nobody has warned you about it yet, you could be months into a build before you realize you're $80,000 short with no way out. Today I'm walking through every single cost that shifts the moment you cross a state line. We're using one control variable for this entire video, a 40 by 30 Barndominium. Identical floor plan, identical kit, identical finishes. We're just moving it around the map. Stay with me because at the 1 minute mark, I'm gonna show you the permit costs that made a grown man cry at the county office. Before we get into it, if you are actively researching land or you've already gotten a quote on a steel kit, subscribe and turn on notifications right now. I put out honest Barndominium numbers every single week, no fluff, no affiliate nonsense, and drop your state in the comments below. Tell me where you're planning to build. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which of these cost traps is coming for your budget. Let's go! The shell versus site reality. Let me destroy the biggest myth in the Barndominium world right now. The steel kit is not your house. The steel kit is your skeleton. People see a $35,000 kit price online and think they can build a finished home for $35,000. That number is real, but here's what it actually buys you. 4 walls of steel panels, a roof, and some hardware. That is it. No foundation, no electrical, no plumbing, no insulation, no HVAC, no interior walls, no windows, no doors, no flooring, no kitchen, no bathrooms. The shell, the kit itself, represents roughly 20 to 30% of your total project cost. The other, 70 to 80%, is determined entirely by your zip code. This is where people get wrecked. They budget for the kit, they buy the land, they pour a little concrete, and then the contractor bids start coming in. And suddenly, a $35,000 dream has turned into a $200,000 reality they didn't plan for. When I say the metal doesn't change but the ground does, I mean it literally. The dirt beneath your feet, the climate above your head, and the county government around you, those 3 things set your real price. Let me walk through each one. The frost line and concrete gamble. Most people think a foundation is just concrete. You pour a slab and you're done. If you're building in the South Georgia, Alabama, Central Texas, Oklahoma, that's pretty much true. A standard 4-inch slab-on grade is code compliant, it's fast, and it's relatively affordable. We're talking $8,000 to $12,000 for a 40 by 30 pour, depending on your site prep. Now move that same house to Montana, or Maine, or the upper Midwest. The ground freezes, and when frozen ground thaws, it moves, it heaves. If your foundation isn't sitting below the frost line, your house moves with it. We're talking cracked walls, sticking doors, and structural failure over time. So the code requires you to dig below the frost line. In Montana, that frost line can be 48 inches deep, 4 feet underground. In Maine, you could be digging down 5, even 6 feet. That means footings. Stem walls. In some cases, full piers. For a 40 by 30 control build, that invisible concrete work, the stuff that sits entirely underground that you will never see, that adds 0 square footage to your home, can add $15,000 to $25,000 to your budget before a single wall panel goes up. You haven't started building yet and you're already $20,000 over what your southern counterpart will spend. That's not unfair. That's physics. But it is something you have to plan for. Call a local excavator before you call a kit manufacturer. Ask what the frost depth is in your county, what the soil bearing capacity is, and whether they've worked on Barndominium foundations in your area. That one phone call could save you from the biggest surprise of your build. The labor premium gap. Here's something that doesn't get talked about enough in this community, and in 2026, it matters more than ever. Construction labor costs are rising at nearly 4.6% annually. That's the national average. But that number hides enormous regional extremes. In a low-cost labor region, rural Texas, Arkansas, Kansas, parts of the Southeast, you can find experienced, specialized Barndominium crews. These are builders who have put up dozens of these structures. They know the quirks of steel framing. They know how to run electrical in a metal building without creating a nightmare. They know how to insulate a barn door so it doesn't become an oven in summer and an icebox in winter. In those markets, turnkey finish rates, meaning they handle everything from foundation to final walkthrough, can run around $90 per square foot. For a 1,200 square foot 40 by 30 build, that's roughly $108,000 in labor and finish. Add your $35,000 kit, and you're looking at a completed home in the $130,000 to $145,000 range. That's real. That's achievable. Now take that same scope of work to Seattle, Denver, any Castle Metro, the Bay Area. In those markets, you are not competing with other homeowners for construction crews. You are competing with commercial developers, Amazon warehouses, apartment complexes, hospital expansions. Those projects pay $150, $175, $200 per square foot for construction crews, and the crews go where the money is. If you want a specialized barn door crew in a metro market, you're gonna pay metro rates. We're talking $200 plus per square foot in a lot of coastal high regulation areas. Same floor plan, same kit. That labor gap alone can add $100,000 to $130,000 to your total bill. And this is not the contractor ripping you off. This is supply and demand. There are fewer workers who specialize in barndominiums in markets where they can earn more doing commercial work. If you want them, you pay for them. Engineering for the elements code variants. This one surprises people the most because they think they're buying a steel building, and steel is strong, right? So why would they need upgrades? Because Mother Nature doesn't care about your marketing brochure. Every jurisdiction in the country has building codes that specify what your structure has to be able to withstand. Those codes are based on local climate risk, and they are not optional. If you're building on the Gulf Coast, the Florida Panhandle, the Texas coast, hurricane country local codes require impact-rated windows and doors, not regular windows, impact-rated. Laminated glass that meets the Florida Building Code or Texas Department of Insurance standards. A standard window package for a 40 by 30 build might run $4,000 to $6,000. Impact-rated windows in hurricane zones cost $12,000 to $18,000 just for the windows. On top of that, your structural connections, the bolts, the anchor plates, the bracing, have to meet high wind design loads. That often means heavier gauge steel, more anchor bolts in your foundation, and additional engineer stamps. Add another $5,000 to $15,000 depending on your specific wind zone. Now move that same house to the Colorado Rockies or upstate New York. Your roof has to handle snow load, the accumulated weight of snow sitting on your structure for weeks or months at a time. A standard barndominium kit is designed for moderate snow load. In high snow regions, you need higher gauge steel roof trusses, potentially additional interior posts, and redesigned purlin spacing. That engineering upgrade typically adds $8,000 to $20,000 to the kit cost itself before you even begin site work. And here's what I need you to remember. These are not upgrades you can skip. They are mandated by code. Your building inspector will not pass your structure without them. Your insurance company will not insure it without them. You cannot legally occupy it without them. When someone shows you a kit price without asking what wind zone or snow load zone you're in, that price is incomplete. The permit trap. This is the one that actually keeps people up at night. Everything else I've covered, the foundation, the labor, the engineering, those are costs you can get bids on, you can research them, you can prepare. The permit trap is different. In some counties, the rules are completely invisible until you're already committed. Let me show you both ends of the spectrum. On one end, rural county, low regulation state. You walk into the building department, the man behind the desk knows your name. You fill out 2 forms, pay a $400 to $500 permit fee, and he shakes your hand. That's it. No hoops, no waiting, no 5-figure check before you've broken ground. On the other end, high regulation jurisdiction, suburban or coastal county, dense population, growing infrastructure pressure. You show up with your plans and they hand you a fee schedule. And on that fee schedule is a line item called an impact fee. Impact fees are charges that local governments levy on new construction to fund the infrastructure your new home will require: roads, schools, fire stations, water and sewer capacity. These fees are not negotiable. They are not related to the cost of your build, they are simply the price of permission. In some California counties, impact fees alone, not the permit, not the inspections, not the utility hookups, just the fees, can run $30,000 to $50,000 for a single-family home. In certain Florida growth corridors, school impact fees alone have hit $20,000 to $25,000. In 2026, with housing demand still outpacing supply in most growth markets, many counties have raised their impact fees significantly in the past 18 months. This is a moving target. Our 40 by 30 Barndominium, same house, in a rural, low-regulation county, $500 in permits. In a high-regulation growth corridor, $25,000 to $40,000 in fees before a single shovel hits the dirt. The reason this is a trap is because most people don't ask about it until they're already in love with a piece of land. They've made an emotional commitment, they've told their family. They've already picked out the kitchen cabinets in their head, and then they find out about the impact fees. Don't be that person. The real numbers side by side. Let's bring it all back to our control variable. One 40 by 30 Barndominium, one floor plan, one steel kit at $35,000. In rural Texas, good soil, simple slab, available specialized labor, moderate climate, low regulation county, you are looking at a realistic all-in budget of $130,000 to $150,000. That's a real livable finished home. In Washington state, frost depth foundation requirements, coastal labor rates, wind load engineering mandates, and high regulation permit fees, that exact same house costs $280,000 to $320,000. The metal didn't change, the floor plan didn't change, your zip code did. And for anyone wondering whether this middle ground exists, it does. In states like Tennessee, Missouri, and North Carolina, a mid-range finish on this same build lands around $175,000 to $225,000 all in. The variance is real, but it's not random. It follows the same 5 factors every single time: foundation depth, labor market, structural engineering requirements, permit and impact fees, and regional material supply chains. Know those 5 numbers for your county before you commit to anything else. Comparing low-cost and high-cost regions, let me give you a side-by-side so this is completely clear. In a low-cost region, the rural South and Midwest, a $35,000 kit turns into a finished home for $130,000 to $155,000. Foundation costs are low, labor is available and affordable, no extreme weather code upgrades are required, and permits are straightforward. You are in the best possible building environment in the country. In a mid-cost region, interior states with moderate climate and mid-sized labor markets, places like Tennessee, Arkansas, and inland North Carolina, that same kit finishes around $175,000 to $230,000. Slightly higher labor, some frost depth requirements, basic permit fees. Manageable? In a high-cost region, coastal markets, high-altitude states, and high-regulation metros, you are looking at $260,000 to $320,000 or more. Frost or wind engineering is required, labor competes with commercial rates, and impact fees alone can represent 10 to 15% of your total project budget. The single most important thing you can do before you plan a budget is figure out which of those 3 buckets your county falls into. Not your state, your county. Because counties within the same state can be in completely different cost tiers depending on population density, infrastructure pressure, and climate zone. So what do you actually do with this information? Here is my honest recommendation. Before you watch another Barndominium video, before you call another kit manufacturer, before you put in an offer on land, call your local building department, not the county next door, your county. Ask them 4 questions. 1. What is the residential permit fee for a new single-family structure? 2. Are there impact fees and what are they? 3. What is the required frost depth for foundation design? 4. Am I in a high wind or high snow load zone? 4 questions. 15 minutes on the phone. That conversation will tell you whether your dream build is a $140,000 project or a $300,000 project before you spend a single dollar. A cheap home in a high-cost region is not a deal. It's a trap. And the most heartbreaking builds I hear about are the ones where someone got halfway through and ran out of money because they budgeted for Texas while building in Oregon. The Barndominium dream is real. It is achievable. It is still one of the smartest ways to build a custom home in 2026. But it is only a smart move if you know your real number going in. Know your zip code. Know your market. Then build with confidence. If this video helped you see the full picture, share it with someone who is researching Barndominiums right now. They need to hear this before they commit. Drop your state in the comments and tell me where you're building. I read every one. And if you want the next layer of this conversation, my next video covers the 5 states where Barndominium permits are the hardest to get in 2026 and exactly how to navigate them. Subscribe so you don't miss it. I'll see you there.